Welcome to Texas Motor Speedway for the Outsider Racing League round number 6 of 2020. Welcome to Sim TV. My name's Kyle Heyer, joined by Finny Nakuna tonight. A little bit of a late start due to the running of the SCCA Super Tour that just finished up on the SCCA official channels. But Finian, we're about to go racing and the Lone Star State. We're going to head down to the racetrack here as qualifying is already complete. We're just on the grid waiting to get rolling tonight as Yusuf Ghali sits on pole in the number 54 with the Polar Pierce paint scheme on board this car. But super excited to get this one underway tonight. 135 laps of racing around Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and again, obviously, if you're looking at Texas, be like, oh, that's a little bit different. Yep, iRacing got the new version of Texas out fairly recently, also the night version as well. So, and I believe we should be heading into the night fairly close. I believe the light should at very least come on. So yeah, this track looking absolutely beautiful, and it's not just a graphical upgrade to make it look better. This track has changed its configuration, not so much in turn 3 and 4, but definitely in turns 1 and 2. On the 24 degrees of banking that were in both sides of the track, turns 1 and 2 have been reduced down to 20 degrees, making that turn flatter, and they've also widened the turn out a little bit as well, so it's going to dry differently. And you know, I hope these guys got some practice in, because it's definitely going to change how these cars handle out here.
So you can hear the engines fired up. We're about ready to go racing. Let's roll through our starting lineup here tonight as we head out of the pit lane. On the front row this evening, Yusuf Ghali in the 54, AJ Stravato in the 33.
Moving on back to row number 2, we find Connor Horn in the 3 lining up the inside lane. Next to him, Bryce Colusa in 4th.
In 5th place, Adam Cabot from New Jersey in the 77, and Alex Bell from Ohio in the number 15.
Now back to 7th, Zach Carr on the 27 is going to be lining up next to Reggie Ortega in 8th.
9th place, Tim Downey Jr. in the number 25, Elliott Butler in the 6th car, rolls off in 10th.
Back at 11, Bailey Turner is going to be lining up in the 24 next to Joshua Banks in 12th.
In 13, Martin Sproul, number 19, and Brandon Gagnon in the number 83 car, starting 14th tonight.
Moving on back, we can find Robert Gavin 15th in the 75 next to Brian Chambliss in the 9 in 16th.
17th place, Jeremy Miller in the number 30, Steven Turner making his return to overall action in the number 26, back in 18th. Let the rest of those scroll on through as we get ready to go racing here tonight. Thank you again for joining us on Sim TV. If you're new here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button for all sorts of action. We got SCCA, we've got Grid Life, we've got ORL, and we're really excited to bring you 135 laps of oval racing here tonight from the Lone Star State in Fort Worth, Texas. This is Texas Motor Speedway. Brand new pavement here this evening as we roll off into turns 3 and 4. No Limits, Texas. We've got 34 drivers lined up tonight. That's a whole lot of rows of race cars fitting in. And it's time to bring the action with the green lights in Texas here in just a moment.
See the pace car about to make the left turn off to pit row. The field's going to go into the hands of the 54 of Yusuf Ghali.
Time to go racing for the Outsider Racing League. Welcome to Sim TV and welcome to Texas. Green flag flies and we're racing for round number 6 of the 2020 season. Wide of the back straightaway. That's that car in the middle. We're going to get down to turn 3 and somehow we'll sort it out before we make a mess out of it. And Finny, one of the biggest changes with this track is the reconfiguration, the widening and flattening of the banking in turns 1 and 2. And it's a mad scramble as they head back there for their first time at speed.
And you can see how much wider the track is. It's an extra lane they got to use down there, and you see everyone pretty much down there looking for a grip. That's the best place to be at the moment on this start.
And there, of course, in line is Elliott Butler in the number 6 machine. To his outside is Reggie Ortega in the number 2. On the outside lane in 3 and 4. This is a lot more like it used to be, Finian. So I think tonight, the outside lane in 3 and 4 might be okay, but turn 1 and 2 are going to be bottom feeding all night long.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Ortega was trying to get himself down there in 1 and 2. Couldn't get it done. And up ahead, these guys still side by side. Out with the 3 of Connor Horn, trying to move his way up. The order started in 3rd, is up into 2nd, looking for 1st.
And here comes the number 77 to the inside at over 185 miles an hour. The other discussion, Finian, the aerodynamic package, a lot more downforce, a lot less power, so the draft is going to be a factor tonight as we roll out of turn 4 to complete lap number 3.
It's pretty much on full throttle, over 195 miles an hour into these corners.
It's a spectacular sight to see. It is a beautiful sight here at Texas with this brand new pavement, the brand new racetrack. And look at the block by Yusuf Ghali in the back straightaway, going defensive. Cabot and Horn stacking each other up like fighter pilots off into turn 3.
Connor Horn not giving a whole lot of room to Adam Cabot, trying to keep that 77 down there so he can get a nice run off the corner. He's going to just pull alongside the 77, but not much more than that.
And there's Zach Carr in the 27. Where did he start? Well, back in 7th place, he's now up to 4th and right on the hips and tail of that 3 car and the 77.
Zach Carr's been doing pretty well as of late, and now essentially trying to keep that going as he's currently running in 4th. He's got a solid shot at taking the lead here.
And you notice how tight the field is here. All this extra grip, Finney, and even with the aerodynamic downforce package kind of restricting the downforce that you have behind other cars, you can still follow pretty closely with how much grip we have. There's Tim Downey Jr. He's got to the outside. That's Bryce Colusa in the number 20. And for the lead, Cabot and the 54 rubbing fenders through turns 1 and 2.
Here comes Zach Carr looking to the inside, but wasn't able to get the move done. So he's going to still sit back in 4th, our last week's winner at Darlington.
And at turn 4, yet again, we're 6 laps green so far, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I've seen some NIS races this week, Finian. They have not been very clean. Lots of trouble in those races as people get acclimated to the car and track combination.
Here's the thing, when you think about NIS races, you always got to take with a pinch of salt. Just saying.
You're not wrong. I'll give you that.
I was going to say, a lot of talent in this field so far. These guys have been keeping it pretty clean. But yeah, you know, as you're saying, though, really the first few laps are kind of fine. But like IndyCar, you know, as these guys run on, you can see already in the background, too, these guys starting to bunch back up together again, side by side in some cases. So you could see a caution happen or a wreck happen. And, you know, that could take out a lot of cars depending on where it occurs.
Yeah, Cabot is in the lead right now, right in front of Connor Horn in that number 3 car. Also, the new Camaro nose, a very slight change, but it has changed this week. And look at this for the lead, side by side drafting into turn 3. They almost hooked each other into the fence, and that would be a very bad place to do it into turn 3.
Yeah, it definitely was. And actually, I did feel like something was looking different on the Camaro. I didn't realize that they updated the nose as well.
Yeah, and it does look pretty good. I actually prefer it the old way, but it does look nice how it is now. The taillights are also different, if in case you noticed that as well. So look at how stacked up the field is here. AJ Stravado with the 33. He started in 2nd place. He's got nothing but go backwards. So I think he's got doesn't really have a feel on this right now.
One guy who actually looks like he's going forward, not so much necessarily in this race, but this season in general, the 25 of Tim Downey Jr. This is probably one of the highest places we've seen him run all season long. It's just been very uneventful for him this year, but currently running in 6th. This is more or less where we would expect to see that 25, our defending champion.
Martin Sproul, the 19, has not really had a great launch to the 2020 season, and tonight he started back in 13th place. He's gained 2 spots to the front, but we're going to go back to the lead because Connor Horn is sitting right behind Cabot. How much working together do you think they're going to do tonight? Because this is almost like plate racing, what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I really, as far as working together, I think, you know, if anything, they're going to just try to decide, you know, who's the faster between them and then not take each other's time up too much. You want to make if you're going to make a pass, you're going to want to do it quickly. You don't want to be fighting side by side for too long. So let the guys come back in behind you, and you're also going to wear up your stuff as well. So I imagine for now, Horn's not even going to bother. He's just going to stick in behind Cabot, so that way they can both try to break away from the rest of this field, which is a very hard thing to do with this package.
Yeah, Yusuf Ghali was the one that led the first couple laps, was the pole sitter tonight, but it looks like he's starting to burn up his stuff and has fallen into 3rd, and now is being hounded by Alex Bell and Zach Carr. Remember back a couple weeks back to Watkins Glen, both Yusuf Ghali and Alex Bell had really good days at Watkins Glen. Ghali ended up winning that race, Bell inside the top 5, so they've had a pretty good launch this season, both of them. Ghali especially with a couple race wins to his name so far this season, and right behind him, you mentioned earlier, Tim Downey Jr., and he really needs to get his season on track if he wants to retain the championship as he got last season. It's been a frantic start here. The field still very tightly knit together. There's a couple of stragglers at the back of the field. Jeff Wright in the 48 all the way at the tail, David Mott Jr. and Casey Laconis. Real slow start to the night with his Sim TV car. Still running the throwback from last week, it looks like.
Hey, that thing looks good enough to honestly run more than 1 week.
Yeah,
not entirely good enough for the 50th Laconis, though. Started in 26th, currently back in 30th. Not sure what happened with Jeff Wright and why he's 11 seconds back. But...
And Clifton Cockle and Chatteron Beam are kind of in a 3-car group with Eddie Trejo back in 27, 28, 29. So they've kind of separated themselves out. Maybe just avoiding trouble because you look up the road, how chaotic it is. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, the entire top 25 is in 3.5 seconds, which is really close when you consider that's 25 cars. I mean, look at that. Mostly a train, pretty much, of guys. A few guys side by side. I think almost 3 wide, too.
Yeah, they're playing with fire this early in the race with how much energy everyone's got. Everyone's hyped up for this brand new circuit. There are caution lights on the front straightaway that you put a camera to take a look at. We hope those don't glow up a whole lot tonight, but I do want to see them at least once. So I hope we don't go caution free.
Oh, there is a long way left to go in this race. We're only 15 laps in of 135, and a lot of things.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to look at the weather. So here's your conditions right now. It's pretty cool out there, Finney, and pretty pretty grippy, especially considering we're in Texas, but the mostly cloudy skies kind of factoring in there. We do have a break in the clouds. That might warm up the track just a little bit.
I gotta say, oh man, this track looks beautiful.
It is a gorgeous, and this just goes to show you how beautiful iRacing can be versus places where we typically run. Yeah. So, you know, when they want to make it look good, they make it look good. Right on board with AJ Stravato for a moment. Mentioned he started in second, he's back to ninth.
Yeah, and it looks like he stopped that drop, the continuous drop back that we were talking about earlier. So he's going to find a nice place in line. Don't know if really the 7S car can move up through the order here, but he's definitely going to try with the run off the corner. Some door bang between the 27 and the 6.
Off into turn 1, just a slight lift to get the car set. And then you're right back to the throttle, and you're going to stay there for most of the rest of the lap, because when you get to turn 3, you've got all that banking to hold on. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, here comes the 3 of Connor Horn. He's going to go to the inside, and a block by the 77.
Yeah, major block. It almost looked like the 77 was going to spin out. He turned that hard left, also very late into the corner. And that maneuver slowed both these guys down into the clutches of the 54 of Golly.
And here comes the 3, going to try to sneak up the outside, thinks better of it. The outside in turn 1 is not really a place to be. You see Golly go up the racetrack, and the 15 of Alex Bell is going to close slightly. It's just so hard to keep momentum up there. Ooh, car swinging way wide up there. Also, the 6 car of Elliott Butler's been taking some pretty wild moves up here as well.
And Colusa, too, has actually just gotten past Elliott Butler, now working on the 27 of car.
Onto the front straightaway again, and how quickly this race is going. It'll be over in 56 minutes, which is a really short race by ORL standards. We've been racing for, you know, probably about 5-10 minutes, and it's pretty chaotic. Look up the road, Bailey Turner to the inside. That is Alex Bell he's having a look at for 4th.
You can look up the inside. Both of them going to be side by side in the corner. This is what we're talking about, that outside lane can, you know, be useful in some cases, but it still looks like these guys are bottom feeding pretty much all the way around the track. Now, obviously, once this race starts to get further and further into its running, I think that outside lane might start to come a bit into its own. Not terribly. It's still probably going to be mostly in the middle lane, but I think that's as good as it's going to get.
And the top 3 are kind of all together, but Cabot has been really strong so far. Connor Horn's been stuck behind him, but certainly putting the pressure on. But I think that 3 car is going to be good over the course of the long run here. 3 again looking to the outside, but there's nowhere to go off into turn 1. They make contact for a moment, and maybe the 3 is just sending a message that don't pull up in front of me because I will not lift.
Yeah, it looks like he send it hard into the corner and trying to rebound back on exit to maybe build up a run in this 27. This is really where how you gotta, you know, you have to build up runs with these cars the way they are now. You can't just, you know, try to send it hard into the corner. You have to kind of premeditate your pass in order to make it happen. Looking now at the 9 of Brian Chambliss fighting with Martin Sproul. A few other guys in behind. There's Michael Howden in the 96, 30 Jeremy Miller, and the 26 is Stephen Turner.
Yeah, Stephen Turner's making his return to oral action after a very long vacation. He's got Mission 22 on the car tonight, but the last time I remember seeing Steve Turner was way back at Talladega, about 2 or 3 seasons ago, so it's been a while since we've seen the 26 in action, so good to see him back. Currently 19th after starting 1 spot better. Houghton a little bit out of line in that 96, and Turner's going to try to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Turner's saying thank you very much. He's going to take that inside lane. You see how easily he's just going to pull ahead of the 96 for 18. Back up for the lead, the 3, Connor Horn working that outside lane. You can see how much time he's losing there. Has to pull back in line 77.
And again, as the night goes on, the track's going to grip up a little bit as the temperature falls and the rubber is going to build up. And then going outside of the preferred racing line is going to get even more challenging. So you see how the rubber's already starting to pick up in this bottom groove. It's only going to get worse as the night goes on, especially in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, interesting that Cabot was actually looking a bit tight off of turn 4. Which I find interesting because he's got completely clean air to his nose, but Corn had a better line through, so I'm not sure maybe the 77's worn out his stuff a little bit too much.
Maybe. I mean,
we're seeing even out of turn 2 here, he's a little bit higher than the 77, and it doesn't necessarily look like he's purposely going to that outside lane. So
you're putting a lot of load on these tires, especially in 1 and 2 with the reduced banking. So I can see burning up the right fronts a lot, but it's also new pavement, so it's not quite as rough as other racetracks. I'm not really sure where our tire wear is going to be tonight. So we got a little bit of a scrap for 8th place.
There's going to be a lot of unknowns unless you really have just been, you know, like I was saying, you've just been in NIS running that, because this track's been fairly new to the service, and I'm sure most of these guys haven't got a whole lot of running on this track in race conditions, really.
Joshua Banks in the 36 started 12th up to 10th. Still trying to climb forward, but he's got to get by AJ Stravato to do that. There's Reggie Ortega to the outside in the VRL number 2. Camaro and a little bit of a slip off the bottom, and there was Carr up the road as well, and looks like the 33 wants back by.
Carr still winning this barely as we go back up to have a look at our leaders here. Golly actually starting to fall off.
Oh, Bailey Turner's just dropped off the timing and scoring, Finney, and he's going to tumble down the order. Now, one of the things that could be caused... Oh, he's back. Okay. So one of the things that we have to note is there is a performance issue right now with iRacing that was discovered about 2 weeks ago that I just discovered on Wednesday the other night, where if you have a certain number of cars in a server, you can end up having issues with your physics thread, and it can delay the sim and break it. And the devs are looking into it right now. But depending on the system that you have, you might experience it with car numbers as low as 32 to 35. I've seen kind of 38, 39 be my critical number. We only have 32 driving right now, but perhaps drivers with lower end systems could be experiencing issues tonight, so we have to keep that in mind. Look at this fight. This is all for 8th place.
And a mess of cars here, all behind Zach Carr.
Working lap number 27 of 135, a big group of cars across the start-finish line.
Banks trying to work that outside lane around Stravato. Looks like he can't get it done. They're going to slide.
Oh, big block by the 33, and the 36 almost rear-ended him there. I don't think he knew that was going to happen. I don't think the 33 knew the 36 was going to dive down there either, but they both kind of did it at the same time and almost crashed each other.
33 is going to wash over the corner. It's open the lane for the 36. Here comes Banks, and then inside it's going to be important here. Imagine Banks is going to easily win this battle as it gets down to turn 1.
And still green after running for 29 laps to start this event. Right behind them, there is the 31 of Brandon Bowers, a new paint scheme on board that car this week, a Coca-Cola livery, and the color of red on that car is the perfect shade of red. Change my mind. You will not.
I dig how simple that scheme is. Just a slight little smoosh representing
the Coca-Cola swoosh, and it's the red color, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, beautiful metallic spec map too, making that car look extra beautiful. Can't wait to see how it is under the lights here. Although honestly, at the rate we're going,
yeah, we're going to finish it before the sun even goes down at this point. But Bowers up from 21st to 12th, and typically he's been qualifying better than he's running, but that doesn't seem to be the case so far today.
Yeah, I'll see where they kind of finish up in this order.
Oh, the 25 launched off into turn 3, dead even with Stravato. We're going to see how these lines in turns 3 and 4. Oh, on the wall, Steve Turner, big hit. Pounded it here.
Yeah, he did.
And Adam Cabot now beginning, don't want to say stretch out his lead. It's only about a car length, but it's the biggest it's been since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, Gordon's been all over the back of the 77, so it is somewhat significant here. You see them racing on by. And a good amount of the field, a good amount of the leaders specifically have kind of started to spread out. Here's your top 3 coming through the frame. The next 3 drivers, Butler.
Hello, Butler. Popping in. And Brandon Bowers is on a mission right now. He has climbed up to 11th place plus 10. He's one of our biggest movers in this race so far.
Yeah, this is actually kind of surprising because typically this 31 has started almost always towards
the front. That's what I mentioned is that he typically starts out front and moves backwards. Oh, he's disappearing. He's got some connectivity problems. But again, he's going forwards tonight, not backwards. I think that's all he can ask for. As looks like Connor Horn is trying to run down that 77, but he just can't inch any closer. How much are the aerodynamics factoring into this?
Oh, I think quite a bit, especially when you remove some of that bank. You look at a great run out of the corner. Here comes Cabot with a block and a hit from Connor Horn to Cabot.
He's going to drive him off into turn 3, and I think maybe a little bit of impatience here starting to brew in the 3-car camp. He doesn't want to sit behind the 77 all night long, and you got to figure out how to get around him. That might require the bumper.
Yeah, I was going to say a little bit of a bump heading down towards turn 1 as well, and the blocking has caused 54 to get right back in this battle yet again. And Connor's really been playing the run off of turn 2 fairly well. He's been getting these great runs. Not so good this time by. Going to still stay in behind the 77.
And Yusuf Ghali again started on pole tonight, just hanging out in third.
You can see, he came right back up to the 3 and the 77 as they were, fighting with each other. And then you saw through turns 3 and 4 just lost all of it due to the aerodynamic drag.
Right behind the 33 of AJ Stravato, it's a little bit of a hornet's nest. There's Reggie Ortega, Chambliss, Jeremy Miller, Sturgill, Sproul, and more. Throttling back up is Travato, and Ortega not able to close that gap. 100 laps to go this time by. This race is sailing by at a very quick pace. And it's been Adam Cabot up front for quite a while now.
Yeah, I'm honestly amazed that we haven't seen a single caution, considering how hard these guys are racing earlier on and how close they were. Typically, you'd think that a caution would come out, but I think these cars really also are so planted. I haven't really seen anyone get loose. If anything, has just been tight.
Whoa!
As I say that.
Wow, he in a straightaway. And he's about to go a lap down here early in the race, and he started in 25th and has dropped back to 30th. And he's been off the pace by about 0.2 a lap. Angelo Ronis is in pit lane getting tires. He's got some right side damage. I think he might have hit the wall and said, let's start my pit stop sequence now.
Now let's see how it plays out for the lap.
Oh, Stephen Turner. Oh, green flag pit stop's already underway.
Oh, Gagnon also down the pit road. So it looks like they're getting few takers down at the pit road, so it looks like the sequence is starting.
Well, I mean, I guess we've been so green. There's Robert Gaba leaving pit lane. We've been so green, they're just eating up a whole ton of fuel. As the lead lap drivers approach Chad Ronbeam to put him a lap down. 37 laps complete here from Texas. Alex Bell's having a good start tonight in 5th place, but Bailey Turner too. He started in the 11th spot.
And actually, Turner is catching up to the guys ahead of him. Was just a few hundredths faster than Adam Cabot, but that's the key thing. He's not losing time to them. He's skating, although be it very small increments. But the 24 could be up there by the end of the night.
Again, interested to see how long drivers will go out and fuel. We've seen already some drivers come on down to service the race car a little bit earlier than I would have expected. I would have expected around lap 40 to 45, but some drivers 35 or sooner. Adam Meyer hits pit lane in the number 12.
Yeah, Meyer's down in pit lane. Also, Jeff Ray has made a trip down to pit road as well. So kind of just waiting. I think a lot of guys are just running out there trying to hit their number before they head on down.
There's Zach Carr and Elliott Butler. This is for a 7th spot. You see the big television screen on the back straightaway. They call that Big House or Big Hoss or something like that. It's bigger than Charlotte's by a significant margin because everything's bigger in Texas. You see the battle between Carr and Butler get a little bit heated.
Yeah, those 27 was going to drift up a little bit into the 6th, but was able to keep off of it. Very close battle between them.
So 40 laps into this race, and here comes Connor Horn. One other block down the back straightaway. He's going to take him to the wall, and Cabot's going to have to give this up now.
Yeah, and Horn's saying, nope, not this time, I've got you. And he's going to try to ride that inside lane. That's allowed the 54 to come right back up to the inside of the 77 now.
3-car fight for the lead in Texas Motor Speedway. And Yusuf Ghali now side by side with the leader from the last lap. And Connor Horn shoves his way through. Did Ghali get some grass there?
Oh, Ghali just gave a little bit of a bump to the 3. Yeah, he probably took some grass. I think a few guys have been taking some grass through that quad oval.
And now down the back straightaway, 3 leaders all together. Bailey Turner is eating them alive right now as the quickest car inside the top 5 the last lap through, and Bellows a 10th quicker than that still.
Battling that 24, starting to get closer and closer to them. Could potentially be a 6-car battle if that second group catches.
Yeah, I think they will if they keep running side by side like that. Michael Houghton hits pit lane in the 96.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think a lot of these guys are aiming to get to lap 45. You can get to lap 45, you can make it on 2 stops.
I think that seems to be the general consensus so far. A little bit of a scramble on the back straightaway. Carr and Butler continue their side-by-side battle. There's Joshua Banks, AJ Stravato, Tim Downey Jr., and more.
And Banks nowhere to go at the moment, just kind of sitting in behind these guys. It's really hard to pull off 3 wide around here to try to make a pass. Very much a 2-lane racetrack minimum.
Lap down car, that is the 29 of David Mott Jr. Nice looking livery on that car this week. New for this week as well. Big block by the 54. Takes the 77. A little taste of his own medicine there with all the blocks that they were throwing early.
Surprised they're going so hard, especially with pit stops just over the horizon. But position's a position.
It is a race.
Yeah.
They signed up to fight, didn't they? And here comes Bailey Turner.
I was going to say, their fighting has brought in some more competition. The 24 Bailey Turner has now caught up to these guys. And here comes David Mott with those fresher tires.
New tires on the outside lane, and Turner has to swerve to miss him. Oh, he's in the wall.
Even God's going to get a piece of the wall on the straightaway as well. There you see Bell and Colusa work on by, and this battling for second place, it's allowed Connor Horn to try to drive off into the distance. The biggest gap we've seen for the lead since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, he is just checked out right now by about half a second. Working lap number 45 now, so if you pit now, you can make it to on one more stop, and I'm going to expect we're going to see a whole host of cars hit pit lane here shortly, but watch out for the yellow flags. Maybe it's worth staying out as everyone comes down to this new pit lane, Finian. Someone might make a mistake.
We'll see here. If anything, you got more grip. I think. I thought it.
Here comes Horn.
Down. Yep. Actually, here comes a lot of good drivers in the front.
Ooh, that was
going to be Connor Horn, Adam Cabot, Yusuf Ghali. Ooh, and I think Alex Bell sliding all over the place. Let's get a replay of that.
That was pretty. I ignore the SCCA replay screen. We just came off the SCCA event, so apologies for that. But there we go. Now we're back on Sim TV. Replay screen, but here is a look as Bell came off the racetrack. Just got real sideways.
It got very sideways. Great job saving it. Only thing I hope is that he didn't get a speeding penalty. We'll see. I see here if he does get something. Here comes the 24. Bailey Turner going to surrender the lead and come on down. Bryce Colusa.
I'm running out of breath. This race has been flying by as Connor Horn leaves pit lane. We'll see if he brings any of his buddies with him. Doesn't look like I see any penalties necessarily.
Yeah, it looks like Bell was able to get away with that. So.
And pit road is a very busy place right now. Elliot Butler assumes the lead. Right behind him, Banks, Downey, and Reggie Ortega. Yeah, is someone going to spin out so I can take a breath?
I want to see the caution.
Me too. I want to see somebody. I mean, just so we can see those cool LED light strips on the wall.
That's
a lot of smoke.
Yeah, I was going to say the front stretch looks very smoky. Don't know if someone spun or that's just from the pit lane.
Could be from the pit lane. There's Steve Turner returning to the racetrack. Turner currently scored down in 29th spot, 2 laps down. And Sturgill and Trejo on pit lane. Where's Connor Horn? He's going to have a big lead over Adam Cabot when it's said and done. He's going to be a couple seconds. Then Bell and Ghali. Bell has actually leapfrogged Ghali into pits with that aggressive entry that he had.
Hey, if you can make up time, it really helps. And I think also, I feel like Ghali probably didn't have a great stop either, so that didn't really help him out.
And Polar Pierce car twins tonight. Polar Pierce on the hood of the 15 and on the side and hood of the 54.
Oh, I think they're going to be happy to see both their sponsored cars running very well tonight so far.
And again, if you want to watch live streaming on Twitch by drivers that are in this series, you can head to twitch.tv/Polar Pierce. As we head back up to the front, here comes Tim Downey Jr. and Joshua Banks side by side into the pit lane. We'll see how these guys sort it out.
Yeah, I think Tim Downey Jr., I think his pit stalls before the 36, he seems slowing on down. Or not. Okay, maybe.
Well, works out kind of nicely in that regard. Casey Lakatos in 3rd place. He's also hit pit lane in his number 50. And Connor Horn is set to retake the lead here in the number 3 Wrangler Camaro. Nice throwback scheme from Dale Earnhardt on that car tonight, and it's flying.
Yeah, really running well tonight, and it's built up a solid lead. 1.7 seconds back to Adam Cabot.
And pit stop's just finishing up, so the scoring tower should return most things to normal here shortly. But back to Robert Cabot in 12th place. There's Chambliss squeezing around the outside, and Stravato's having a heck of a run.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Cabot's come down to pit lane. Whoa! Wow, that's the closest we've seen a car get loose so far tonight.
That was a power slide by AJ Stravato getting around the outside of the 75.
Cabot, whoa, almost went down on Elliot Butler here. He's going to stay on another lap.
No, he's actually been out.
Oh, wow. But Carly, he looks like he's tight. I guess he's tight in comparison to the guys he's racing with. Everyone else has got fresh rubbers. So
yeah, he has stopped once tonight. Back up in 3rd place, Bell and Ghali continue their duel for 3rd. As we look down from high above Texas Motor Speedway, again, you're watching Sim TV. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button to catch overall action every Saturday night at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up the next couple weeks. We've been very busy since the COVID-19 shutdown. Obviously, bad circumstances for most everybody, but for Sim TV, it's actually been pretty beneficial.
I was going to say, whoa. Oh, okay. So I thought I saw a smoke spin. It was someone on the internet, but oh, good. But yeah, we've been busy, and we're going to continue to be busy for quite a while.
Yeah, it's unfortunate circumstances for sure, because our real-world opportunities with Grid Life are kind of not looking so hot this year with everything getting shut down. However, the Sim side has exploded, for lack of a better term. And it's been unbelievable, the amount of support we've gotten, how many people have reached out to us. My phone's been ringing off the hook. I spent about 5 minutes pick his nose.
Yeah, no, he's got, I think this is a new flagman. I don't know.
I feel like he just picked his nose.
Because I also don't remember him, like, holding stuff.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because he was holding the stand and waving the green flag at the same time, which doesn't sound that impressive, but I mean, I think it's a new animation that they added.
Yeah. Well, we're just got a little bit of a lull in the action here, so just wanted to. We're watching the flagman pick his nose. I'm waiting for him to do it again, but I don't think he's going to. Maybe we'll check in on that later. Take a look at your top 10 right now. There they are in the scoring pylon. It's the 3, the 77, the 15, the 54, the 15, and the 24. The L. Okay. It's. So we're laughing at the top of the chair. The L's upside down. I don't know if that's intentional. That'd be a fun bug report to submit. Meanwhile, for third, Yusuf Ghali and Alex Bell continue tight off the fourth corner for the 54.
There he comes.
Oh, off into turn 1. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, I saw a bit of the sun earlier too, and I thought it looked pretty good. Wasn't able to get another shot, but man.
Again, we're kind of fangirling over this brand new release of Texas Motor Speedway to the iRacing service. This track is only about a couple weeks old at this point, and it's the first time that we've actually taken a trip here. Here comes Bell to the inside, and just for good measure, we're going to go back to that camera shot again. Oh man, that's pretty.
So beautiful. Yeah, with everyone on slightly different tire strategies.
Surprised at the drop for Reggie Ortega. Back to 14th place, -6. Maybe a little trouble on pit road. No, looked all right to me. But a little bit slow out there on the racetrack, it looks like he's fallen down the order slightly.
Yeah, and you think, if you're far down the order, if you pit a little bit later, you're going to be down there, with some fresher tires, you can move yourself back up. Before Ortega, I just think not looking too hot at the moment.
It is Travado still holding on to 10th. Michael Houghton in the 96. He has slowly crept his way forward 12 spots, and he's done it quietly, but he is now inside the top 10. There is the 26 of Stephen Turner behind him in 28.
Yeah, the interesting thing, too, he's actually running with Stephen Turner last time we were really looking at the 96 car, and that was for about, I think, 18th place, so it's hard to see the 96 up here so high, but he's doing a solid job, and if he can continue it up, he could potentially advance a few more spots.
So long green flag run has opened up this race, and we are closing in on the halfway point of this. And there is a car slow on the apron, and it is David Mott Jr. in the 29.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the 29. The car looks, relatively okay. Some right side damage. I think that was from the scuff he had with the wall earlier.
So he'll come on down, maybe get some crash repair. We did see some cars pit on like lap 35, but you wouldn't pit on lap 60 after doing that. So not sure what's up with the 29, but he's going to put the right sides up on jacks and replace those and get probably left sides as well. Yep. And back to our battle for third, Ghali and Bell.
Bell now having a look. Whoa!
You're getting a little bit more aggressive as the night goes on with those pushes. A little tight for the 54 out of turn 2, and Bell closes right back in.
All right, some action on the track. Actually, we'll go back to the 33 and the 96. Travado with, I imagine, some fresher rubber. He's just appeared in this battle and going to disappear from it as he just marches his way on through. Elliott Butler, I think, in a similar situation, going to rocket past the 96.
Yeah, 5 lap fresher tires for the 33, and Houghton's going to drop down the order slightly. So that's how the 96 got a couple extra spots on that pit stop sequence, was by short pitting a little bit to use the good out of the tires. So we've got 26 cars on the lead lap, and Jeff Wright is one of them, but he's going to hit pit lane again. I'm surprised at how short the runs have been tonight. I wonder if it's the reduced horsepower but higher drag package that's causing these drivers to have to come in more with that the lower fuel economy.
Yeah, probably. And we see the 48 into the pits. It's not been a good day for Jeff Wright. He really needed a caution earlier on because he was about 11 seconds behind the field after about 5 laps. Still not entirely sure why that was the case, but He needed a caution really to kind of get himself kind of back on sequence with everyone else, but has not gotten that yet as he's been green for nearly half the race.
Connor Horn in the number 3 has been leading since the pit sequence, and he is just checked out. It's almost a 2-second lead, but back to 3rd place as Golly Bell and Bailey Turner's found his way back into the fight.
Turner's been performing pretty well so far.
Last lap was a 28.306. It was better than the 2 leaders up at the front, and a little bit slower than Alex Bell. Sun getting lower in the sky, and we'll take a look at the race weather. If we've dropped any, not really. The track temp's still around 82 degrees, and we would expect the track to lose some of that temperature as the night goes on. And there comes Golly, or excuse me, Bell to the inside of Golly, and the 54 is going to rip the outside line.
Oh, Bell tight on the inside, going to go up the track. Had to force Golly on the line. Turner looks like he's going to force his way to the inside.
Got a nose in there and somehow going to sneak the nose up the inside of the 15 as they get to turn 1, but has to back out. That was a risky move. It almost paid off.
Oh, but he made Bell check up on the entry of the corner. Now he's going to get him on the exit. Here comes Turner up the inside.
And too late for him to block. He's already got that 24 alongside. Where does the 54 go? Going to try to follow the 24 through? He might have to. Here he comes. Yeah. Oh, slam the door, does the 15, right back to the bottom lane.
You have to with this. That inside lane very valuable, as we saw there. Turner able to rocket on past, but now he's going to be the victim here.
Oh, here comes Golly back up the inside. These guys trading positions. Lunge down into 1 for the 54.
That was a lunge and then some.
Going to give up a lot of speed on exit, though. Here's going to be a big block coming. No, well, 15 is going to stay committed to the outside. Bryce Colusa now finding his way towards this group from 6th.
Well, not able to do much from that outside on entry. At least he's going to have to pull back in line. Yeah, that battle, as you're saying, that battle's going to reel in Colusa. Here comes Connor Horn, a leader, then Adam Cabot, and the 4-way battle for 3rd that we were looking at.
And at 54 and 15, I don't think these guys are done anywhere near yet. And we are nearing the halfway point. I think we're just about to it.
Yeah, we're pretty much at halfway this time by.
And off into turn 3. Side by side here, and also for 11th, Houghton and Miller are duking it out. We're going to stay focused on the battle that's farther up the road.
Colusa now looking to throw his hat into the ring here, trying to work his way on by the 54 and the 15 potentially. And you see Billy Turner kind of checked out of this battle already. He's starting to pull away, already 4/10 ahead of Alex Bell.
Now the back straight, the 54 clear to the bottom. Is he going to go for it? He will.
Yeah, try to bully the 15 out of the spot, but Bell's sticking to it on the inside.
This might be a record pace for ORL at a racetrack like Texas. We have been clean and green since the drop of the green flag, and it has been absolutely hectic out there, to say the least.
I'm trying to remember the last time we had a stock car race go green all the way to the end.
Well, I think we've seen it.
Or all the way through.
We've seen them, I feel like, they're not too rare, but I feel like at a racetrack like this, they're pretty rare, especially because this is a repave. It's high grip. We saw a lot of side-by-side early in the race, and we didn't see any trouble. So I would have expected to see some more attrition like we saw in the real-world race last year. There was a lot of accidents that day, especially in turns 1 and 2, where it's very, very line-sensitive. Seems like it's quieted out just a little bit. How about a SimTV sound surge? Let's crank it up. Lap number 75 complete here at Texas Motor Speedway, and it's been Connor Horn up front since the pit stop sequence, but Adam Cabot has started to slowly but surely kind of reel that lead in. It's now just about 2 seconds flat.
Yeah, he's going to have to start picking up the pace, though. It was a little bit closer when they started this run. I think it was about 1.6, 1.7 seconds. The gap between them expanded to just over 2 seconds. Is now, like you're saying, going to be kind of coming back down closer between them. So he's got to make some bigger gains. You see Brendan Gagnon, I believe he's coming out of the pit road.
Yep, just leaving the pits for his second stop of the night. Now we should be expecting pit stops here relatively shortly, especially from the drivers that pit earlier in the run that first time through.
Yeah, I think those guys are, I gotta be just a little bit worried about them having to make an extra stop. A lot of the guys came, a lot of them guys who came down after lap 45, they came pretty quickly.
Could they have been counting on some cautions tonight and just didn't get them, and will that affect their strategy?
Oh yeah, I definitely think it will, because they're pretty much completely off sequence. They're almost going to have to make another stop. I mean, they're pitting 15 laps before most of the other guys would even think of coming down. So they're running the risk of having to make another stop. So they're going to be kind of, crossing their fingers, hoping that a caution comes out. If not, their arms might be just a little bit itchy.
Through 3 and 4, running on board with Bryce Colusa tonight. He's having a great run, started 4th, still inside the top 10 in 6th place. And we've seen him really have some good runs, but the consistency hasn't been there. Tonight could be a return to form for the number 20.
Ooh, probably looked like he was going to ram to the back of the 15. Those guys have been absolutely going at it tonight. Ever since they found each other, they've not been separated.
And I'm trying to see if we gotta get a lower angle here, but the lights should be coming on. Not too far off in the distance. As we look down, the track is beginning to darken with the sun dipping below the horizon here.
We're talking about how massive that screen was. It really does look massive from the blimp.
It is pretty enormous. There you see it on the back straightaway on the right side of the screen. And Bailey Turner riding in 3rd place right now. And here comes Bryce Colusa up the inside of the 54. This is for 5th spot.
And that outside lane does not come into its own. It's been the inside lane all day long, which I guess you kind of expect. I was thinking that would be more so the case in turns 1 and 2, but a bit surprised with the replay.
Yeah, I am a little bit too, but I mean, you think, wow, the 75 is way out there. That's a whole postal code away from the racing line. He's been having a little bit of struggle tonight. He's 1 lap down in 24th place.
Foster River during the high lane. No one else has really. But you can tell too on the entry to 3, just all the rubber is down on the bottom 2 lanes.
Jump back a little bit later in the field. How about Reggie Ortega? Angelo Rodas has just hit pit lane again in his number 11, but Ortega tonight started in 8th spot, dropped back a little ways. Now he's climbed back up to 11th, and that's where he's remained. I'm going to have to ask for a competition caution so I can at least see the lights. Because you can't use this track in AI, so I'm not going to get to see the lights for like weeks. Oh, man. Well, I guess I can watch them tomorrow on the stream, but they're not going to run at nighttime, so... Andrew, throw a caution.
Do the lights work in the day?
What's that?
Do the lights work in the day?
They do work in the day. They're actually quite visible. That was in the release video, but it doesn't look as cool, let's be honest. So Cabot is now gained another couple tenths on Connor Horn, but it's going to have to be in bigger chunks if he wants to get
He's been kind of nibbling away. Like last time by, he was 5 thousandths faster, which if you were to do the math, he's going to be not that much closer by the time the checkered flag comes. So he's got to start taking, a couple hundredths to almost a tenth a lap at this point to try to get back to that 3. If not, at the very least, he has to absolutely nail his next pit stop sequence.
Here comes Joshua Banks on Reggie Ortega. Have a look to the inside into turn 1, and he's going to just chuck it down there, and Ortega will give it. Actually, this is Ortega passing Banks. Sorry about that. It's the 36 car about to get passed on the outside.
How about that? Ortega, we were talking about him struggling a little bit earlier on. I was trying to break himself into the top 10.
And they go off into turn 3. And Banks going to try to run up the 2 a little bit in turn 4, real tight to the wall. That's the one thing about Texas that is really sets it apart from the other quote-unquote cookie-cutter quad ovals, is how much the banking drops away at corner exit and how chaotic that is as a driver. It's very, very easy to find the wall here at Texas.
Yeah, it is. Although I feel like with this package, and I think also the flattening on the corner, they kind of removed almost the treachery of the turn 2 exit wall. That thing was known for claiming the lives of drivers, with everyone just coming out so close to the wall.
I feel like it's still treacherous. The difference is that now the track is so wide that the racing line is like a mile away from the wall.
So when you come up, you've got a little bit more leeway on the corner exit than when you're used to.
Wow, look at Ronis on fresh tires. That made that look easy.
Got a little bit close to the wall, but
yeah, you're so far down the straight at that point that you don't have a whole lot of lateral input in the car. Bryce Colusa and Yusuf Ghali. Now Bryce is going to try the outside lane, but we have not seen this be very successful off into turn 1. Haley Turner again dropping down the order. Hopefully he returns. There, nope, doesn't look like it. Now he does.
I was going to say, I really hope he doesn't drop at him. He's been having a fantastic night so far.
Well, he's also running the quickest laps of anybody the last 2 times. 28.306. The only driver that was faster was Alex Bell and Bryce Colusa last time by.
Speaking of Bailey Turner, just to get a look at his season so far, he's gotten only 1 top 10, and that was at Watkins Glen. And that was in 10th place. So it's not been a terribly terrific season with a 24, but looking to change around with a top 3 if he can hold on tonight.
Connor Horn has been dominating this race so far, and interestingly, the gap has kind of stabilized and fluctuating between 1.8 and 2.0, 1.8, 2.0. So Cabot's gaining, but also losing it back. And I just wonder how much of this is traffic coming into play. You see the 48 of Jeff Wright about to go a second lap down. Has not been his night tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hurting him a bit. Probably, I think with Horn able to work past his lap score, he's been doing so relatively quickly. And I think, just Cabot has not been making the inroads as much as he needed to. We've been talking about him. He's been kind of chiseling away at this lead. He needs to put away the chisel and take out the jackhammer and start just going at it.
There's a quote for the day. I like that.
I was thinking of that one.
Nice.
I was waiting for you to say.
Now you can. Connor Horn leads lap number 88 as we close in the final 20 minutes or so of racing here from Texas. Banks and Ortega still battling it out for 10th spot. A little deeper in the field, Michael Sturgill in the 90 car in 15th spot, and then Miller, and that is not Eddie Trejo, that is the 19 of Martin Sproul, who is currently scored 1 lap down. These two, they're not giving up on each other, are they?
Yeah, no, they haven't. It looks like Ghali's gotten fed up with fighting with the 15. He's going to start fighting with the 20 now. Clusa, actually, the 15, Whoa. Speaking of which, has just pulled off on a pit road as we're coming to pretty much on lap 90.
And looking at the front of that 20 car, looks like he's driven through a Florida bayou with all the bugs and dirt and grime on the front of that car. And Yusuf is going to go a little defensive, maybe thinking about pit lane here. Adam Cabot has hit pit lane in the 77. I think the 54 is about to head there too.
Yeah, he was wanting to take the high lane, giving him the message.
So this would split, if you pit this lap, it would split it into 3 equal segments, and the third stint for these guys about to start right now as Ghali hits pit lane, slows it, woes it. Here comes the 27th car on down as well. And a final pit stop of the night for the majority of the field here. And the drivers that pit earlier in the race have a little bit more to worry about in terms of fuel.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about earlier too. Connor Horn also down a pit road. These guys as well. He's just pulling into his box. Looking, it looks like Bailey Turner is going to be the one inheriting the lead with Bryce Colusa, Reggie Ortega in top 3.
A lot of cars on pit lane at the moment. So,
hey, he did it again.
Oh, he picked his nose again? I
think he's adjusting his hat.
Oh, okay. It'd be more fun if he was picking his nose. Big field of cars on the pit lane, starting with Joshua Banks.
Someone came flying in there.
That was at 96.
Yeah.
Let's go back and take a look.
I was going to say, we're kind of surprised we didn't get a...
Oh, that's too hot.
Yeah,
that'll be almost certainly a speeding penalty. We'll see if he gets caught in just a moment here.
13 is Stouffer pulling into his stall.
Gotta correct the data binding on this to show me decimal points, but we'll get there.
And wow, he got away with murder.
Yeah, he did. Pretty egregious speeding, and he got away with it. So on his side tonight, Chris Stouffer, the 13. We have not talked about him at all tonight.
No,
he has not really had much of one to speak of.
It's been a very uneventful night for the 13 car. He's currently running in 20th. When it cycles out, I think he'll be just outside the top 15. I believe that's where he was running before the sequence started. So it's not been a day to talk about. Same thing too with Casey Lacatus in the 50. Currently in second, but is going to drop down as soon as he comes in for his pit stop.
Yeah, for those that don't know, this is actually the original SimTV logo on this car. This is the throwback that they ran last week at Darlington. But I'm glad we changed it because that was not a pretty one. It's a similar style, obviously.
Yeah, that logo is basically we need something.
And we had something. Now, the thing is I keep thinking back to when we changed to the new logo that you're seeing on the bottom of the screen, on the bottom left. I would still do things differently now if I could, but we're in too deep now. We have merchandise, which you can buy at www.simtvbroadcasting.com/store. If you want to get a hat or a decal or a t-shirt of any sort, those are all available for sale right now. So, Connor Horn extended his lead under that sequence, 2.4 seconds now as we close in on...
Oh!
Caution! Yes! Hey! And it comes at the expense of...
I think that was Stravato.
Was it Stravato?
I think so.
Oh, looks like it. Caution is out at lap number 95. And unfortunately for Stravato, but happy to report that we get... Oh, man.
Oh.
Here's a look.
This is an interesting... I'm curious to see how this happened. This is an interesting part of the track.
Oh, just... got in a wall and tried to save it and tank slapped hard. And we got our first caution of the night. We'll head back and that is pretty.
There we go. That's what we wanted to see.
Be able to get caught back up. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy this because this is cool and I wish every racetrack did this.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I really can't. I also can't wait to when they do eventually do the reconfiguration of Phoenix.
The cactus. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. I want more tracks to just do cool.
Like Daytona's thing is pretty cool. Like the fact that they have it on the top of the cactus.
Oh, also, you know who just won the lottery? Casey Lakatos.
Oh wow, yeah.
He's the race leader at lap number 96, and everyone's gonna come hit pit lane, I would assume.
Yeah, there's only 11 cars on the lead lap. In fact, I think a lot of guys who stayed out are gonna benefit from this. So here comes Casey Lakatos on down.
Wow, that's gonna be huge for the 50, and that's one of those times that playing a strategy like this pays off.
Yeah, you see a lot of the other guys. I think almost everyone that's on the lead lap, might as well make the trip on down. Wouldn't hurt.
Into the box he goes. Connor Horn is going to come on down again, so all the lead lap cars will likely do the same. Here's a look at the scoring pylon, and scored at the top of it, but of course it's going to be a little mixed up as we hit pit lane here. Oh, that is so cool. It also fits the color scheme.
Oh, yeah.
Caution is out.
They did change the animation. It's only a fix I'm holding.
Oh man, like we're starting the Olympics.
I was gonna say, well,
virtual Olympics.
He's gonna have to wait another year, potentially.
You know what I've always thought would be a really cool way to do the caution lights is that they just did one continuous string of LEDs on the top of the catch fence all the way around the track, so the entire place had a ring of yellow around it.
That'd be a lot.
I know, but it'd be awesome. I mean, it's just however many linear feet 1.5 miles is, which is like, 8,000 feet.
That's a lot of lights that people are probably not going to see.
You'll see it. Make the whole place glow. Or all the lights that light up the track just turn yellow. They just have a bunch of guys hold yellow filters over the lenses.
They should have done that because don't they have LED lights here now, right?
I don't know if I know Martinsville does.
Oh, is it only
Martinsville? But their LED lights are really expensive and not that great compared to the ones that they use, the floodlights.
I was gonna say Martinsville could do think RGB.
That would be cool. RGB stadium lights.
Yeah. Can you imagine having a concert? That would be awesome.
Bryce Colusa is your race leader after the pit stop sequence. Casey Lakatos will restart in second place. It comes across the line. We're going to have a restart at around lap number 100.
So Colusa, the only driver not to make a trip down to pit road. Interesting in seeing how this is going to play out. I think for the most part it should be what we expect because they didn't really run that many laps they didn't run that many laps on their new set of tires. I think the 20 figure might as well take the track position, and he's going to do just that.
So we'll probably re-rack double file restart. What's the lane decision here? I would assume the bottom. But,
I think you're a maniac if you don't take the bottom.
Okay, so you feel very strongly about that.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if he takes the outside lane. I mean, we've seen even later in the run, that outside lane has just not come into its own, especially in 3 and 4. So I think inside lane's the way to go.
So we've had one caution for the entire race, and it was at AJ Stravato's expense. So he is now off the racetrack 6 laps down with significant damage to that race car. It rolls through turn number 4, and we'll have about a 35-lap run to the end here. Pretty hard to bet against Connor Horn, Finian, but is there someone else in here that might be able to steal it away?
honestly, I would say, have a look here. Potentially, other than Connor Horn, I would say really Adam Cabot's been only the only other driver. Maybe even US Gali. I think those three drivers have been the only ones that really show the pace. So they have actually one more driver in there as well. I think the 24, Bailey Turner. He's also had some pretty good pace. Not necessarily the track position at the moment, kind of barely back in 7th place. So we'll see what he can do as a bunch of wave rounds as drivers are trying to get back on the lead lap.
See, the track looks like it just went back green, but they're just catching back up to the tail of the field. It'll be about 15 cars that get the wave around here.
And one of them who's going to be back on the lead lap finally for the first time this race is going to be Jeff Wright in the 48. This is the break he needed and finally got it, although very late in the run.
As the field very slowly rolls out of turn number 2. Turn 1 is a very different area right now. Off into turn 3, we will go for a restart. The sun is almost set. We'll have about 18 minutes of racing remaining. It'll be 36 laps. See if we can go green all the way to the end. I have a feeling that we're about to see a whole lot more craziness. Drivers know how hard it is to pass tonight. I think we're going to see some aggressive driving. I think we're not done with seeing those yellow LED lights on the wall tonight.
Well, I want to see it some more, so I'm all right with that.
It's really pretty, isn't it? All right, lap number 100, we'll have the restart. Colusa, Lakatos, Horn, Butler, Cabot, your top 5 as the pace car pulls off here from Texas Motor Speedway. And green flag back in the air at Texas. Connor Horn right in the back of the 50 of Casey Lakatos. We're going to see him probably duck underneath here. Lakatos going to go defensive, a block in one lane, and they'll see if the 3 car goes back to the bottom. He will. Lakatos goes defensive off into turn 3, and they're somehow going to have enough space to get through there as Horn battles back to second.
Yeah, fresh tire is really up. Yeah, when you can just throw it to the inside there, so shallow on the entry of the corner. Horn able to stick it. Here comes Adam Cabot now looking to the inside of the 50.
Whoa! Here comes the 3 to the outside, and the 77 down to the bottom of the racetrack underneath Lakatos, and he'll go on through. Connor Horn has fought right back to the rear bumper of the 20 at Colusa. We're going to see a real defensive number 20.
Yeah, there you see him immediately taking the middle of the track, trying to force Horn to go the outside. On the corner, he actually is going to work on the outside.
And I'm not sure if that's going to stick. Here comes Cabot to the bottom. This is crucial here if Cabot can complete this pass.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Horn bothers you.
Here we go, green line through the grass. Pass through the grass for the 77 down to the bottom of the racetrack. What a move!
Yeah, I love that. And he's going to make it stickier. Colusa got slightly older tires. This is going to make all the difference. Now here comes Horn.
Oh, to the bottom of the racetrack. To the line. Block, bump, slam. Down the peg straightaway as they enter turn 3.
Yeah, the 77 all over the place down from that bump from the 3. Horn knows that he needs to get past him.
Oh, this is great stuff right now from Texas. Another big block by the 77 out of turn 4. You can do it once, but you can't do it again.
I'm still surprised that Horn even... Oh, actually, he's going to get a nice line to the inside of turn 1. He's going to tap the 77, move him up the track. Horn's going to work his way on by.
That was just a little bit of a love tap, and it sent the 77 up the racetrack. Now back to the bottom. Here comes that car in the mix as well. There's no way we're getting out of this without a yellow.
And how about Elliott Butler moving his way up in the 3rd place? We haven't really talked a whole lot of the 6 car. He's been fairly quiet tonight, just running inside the top 10. Meanwhile, for the lead again, here comes Cabot.
If he tries to pass in the grass again, I'm going to give him $10. That was pretty cool. And right on the tailpipes of that 3 car through 1 and 2. Has to lift with the arrow push off the 3 car in front.
And with this package, you can't afford a way around. You're going to make that pass. You're going to want to do it now. Speaking of a pass, Golly, all the way to the white line, trying to hold off black and red car.
Gagnon in the 83. It was the 83. And he did a good job holding him off, but that could get messy back there. Lap 105, 31 laps to go. And I think the 77's about to run out of tire here to get back by this 3 car, so I think the next 2 laps are incredibly critical to him hanging on to the spot. Look at the 15 going defensive on Zach Carr. Maybe a push, maybe a shove.
Everyone really aggressive here in the later going of this race. As the laps start to wind down here, as they come back to the line, it's going to be under 30 laps to go.
Right on board with Casey Lakatos, watching all this chaos from the onboard shots. 30 to go, as you mentioned. And down into one. 3 spin slides up the racetrack. Contact, and he's in the wall hard.
Oh, man, he just got moved by the 77 of Cabot.
Oh, that's big time damage, and there will certainly be drama after the race for that one. Let's go back and take a look at how this all went down. And they just go off into the corner here, Finney. I think we're going to see the 77 just drive
mid-corner
right into the back of him and just moved him up out of the way, and that was enough. Wow, what a slide. And he tried to hang on to it, but couldn't quite do it and got into the wall hard with that right front.
Yeah.
Fell back to 15th place, but Butler is the leader now as Bailey Turner's gone to second.
Interesting.
Here comes Turner to the bottom.
Teammates here fighting side by side, the 24 and the 6.
Cabot wants it back too, and Bell's in 4th. And now back into turn 1 again. The 77 almost leaning on the bumper as the 6 goes to the outside through 1 and 2, but Turner's going to nose ahead as they exit onto the backstretch.
Yeah, actually, correction what I said. All 3 teammates are teammates. The 24, the 6, and the 77 dominating this race. Supercharged racing.
And Butler tried to turn in behind the 77, couldn't fit before Alex Bell stuck the nose in. Lap 108 is now lap 109, and here comes the 77 back to the bottom. Is there a hole? There is, and Cabot goes for the lead.
Yeah, I'm surprised this guy's going to try to fight for it.
The 6 car of Butler's been having connection issues all night long, Finney. That's going to be a big distraction for the drivers behind. As here comes Bell with a shove from the 27 of Zach Carr.
Yeah, Bell in behind, so is Zach Carr, all looking to gain some spots here. Having a look to the inside now with Bailey Turner.
Oh, is there going to be a touch? The 15 going to sneak up underneath the 24. He's going to go to second place if he can keep that 24 out of the bottom groove, and he does, but Turner's going to carry some momentum back to the outside lane. The 6 car might get a penalty here if this continues. We've seen them penalized for that in the past. 77 block into turn 3. Turner goes to follow.
Wasn't able to get a line. Whoa! Turner clips the apron, goes up the hill. Here comes Alex Bell, moves drastically to the outside, side by side.
I don't know if that was the move to make, because here comes the 27 to fill the hole in the bottom of the racetrack. I think Bell could have had a chance to go to the left, but he's going to drive off deep into 1. He's
going to lose it.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Inside lane, the place to be. He's going to try to build up something on his outside, but it's going to be, he's going to lose out eventually. And Zach Kerr going to take advantage of his really his mistake, moving to the outside.
And Adam Cabot is free and clear of Bailey Turner. Now he's going to try to stretch this lead out in the last 25 or so laps. And Zach Carr now could be a player as he's going to probably move himself into 3rd on the bottom of the 15. And he does.
Elliot Butler drifting all the way back from a side second all the way to 10th.
Yeah, he might be being told to get out of this battle. We've seen that be the case in the past. Look at Yusuf Ghali. He found a 3/4 of a lane to fit into and got there.
That was close. Almost got into the 15 and turned him, but these guys are going to resume their battle from earlier in the night.
24 to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Carr right behind him. Contact.
Whoa.
Up the racetrack goes the 24.
People are getting really comfortable with their bumpers.
Oh, here comes Ghali
out of absolutely nowhere to the inside of Zach Carr.
This looks like a plate race right now with how chaotic it's been. Carr in 3rd place still. Oh, the 15 and 54 almost touch again.
Yeah, Ghali went up the hill a little bit, but Bell was able to back out just enough to get the 54 room. But the top 3 now starting to split away just a little bit from the rest of the pack.
Look at how we still have 28 drivers in this race from the 32 that started. And Cabot continues to lead. Turner in 2nd, Carr in 3rd. Do I hear Andrew? Oh, big block by the 24. Do I hear Andrew talking off in the booth with us? No, I don't.
You're hearing things.
I'm hearing things. I thought I heard him pop in here for a second. Whoa. Look at Alex Bell on the outside trying to make things work up here. But you get off into turn 1, Finney, there's just no grip up there. He's going to lose another spot.
Yeah, just that inside lane, man, is just way too good. And actually, speaking of which, here comes Carr looking to the outside of Bailey Turner. He realized his mistake, trying to get back down. Here comes Ghali up the inside, Bell on the outside, 3 wide for a second.
Bryce Colusa going to fill the hole in the bottom groove underneath the 15. Adam Cabot loves seeing this in the mirror because he's just driving away right now with 20 laps to go. And right behind Bailey Turner is Yusuf Ghali, now in the 54, multi-time winner this season, won at Watkins Glen a few weeks ago, and charging right up to the back, the 24.
Zach Carr looking to the outside, not quite able to.
Oh, no, he's going to turn down to the 15, and they almost made contact.
He's going to begin a slow trickle down here if he can't get back to that inside. Here comes Joshua Banks, who's been a non-factor.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's going to force his way down.
Wow.
That was an aggressive move.
Oh, Laconis is up the inside. Back to 7th. He's had a good resurgence after an initial drop after the green flag.
Yep, well, that was an aggressive move, and we know happens to aggressive.
Oh my goodness, so aggressive always goes around.
No, honestly, in all seriousness, the way these guys are racing someone is bound.
I can't believe we haven't crashed more times.
Yeah, well, we almost saw with Cabot and the 3 of Connor Horn.
Yeah, Cabot is leading this race, but it is now dwindling as Turner's beginning to reel in that 77 Lawn Tech Camaro.
These guys have been getting a lot more comfortable with using their bumpers late in this race, though. As I mean, you know, with under 20 laps to go,
yep.
I'll be surprised if we don't see something else happen.
And we don't even have the lights on yet. Or we don't know what the moon is full, but it seems like it is out there right now with how hard they've been racing. And they're starting to string out finally. Deeper in the field, there's Reggie Ortega in the 2, and Brian Chambliss and I having a solid run tonight in 15th.
It started in 16th, so a very consistent night for the 9 car of Chambliss. Just up the road in 11th, we find the 3 of Connor Horn.
Yeah, he's actually come back up. He was as far down as 16th earlier. So he has started to climb back forwards. That damage can't be that serious. He's running lap times that are right on pace. So give me caution, and I picked that 3 car still to win. I think
if a caution comes out as a 77, I'll be terrified.
Yeah, I would be too. Cabot trying to run away from Bailey Turner, but that 24 has reeled him back in, and there'll be 15 to go next time by.
Ooh.
Been a loose out of turn 2.
Yeah, leaving some tire marks down on the exit as well. That's allowed his teammate 24, Bailey Turner, to catch back up.
Caution!
Oh, caution.
That's Reggie Ortega out of turn number 2.
Oh, that car destroyed.
And right at the roll, that's on the bottom of the racetrack. And he's had a pretty good lick. That car is, as you mentioned, seen better days here. Caution out for the second time today with 15 laps to go. And you thought it was chaotic before. We thought we might not see a green-white checker tonight. Now I think it's almost destiny that we get a green-white checker. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Reggie Ortega. I'm imagining there was some trouble as he exited turn number 2. Was underneath the 25 of Tim Downey Jr., the reigning champion. There's Brian Chambliss in behind.
Yeah, I imagine maybe got turned off the 9, or he got into...
Yeah, a little net code there as well. Didn't help either, and big hit to the inside lane. Imagine to come back across the racetrack. He might get hit. No, Cockrell swings and misses. But he already blew the engine just from the inside lane hit, so we'll ride on board with him here because I bet you it's a pretty wild ride. Bet you it's going to hurt too. Did a great job of avoiding bringing more people into the mess, though.
Yeah, and everyone else did a great job of avoiding it as well. Pit stops underway for our leaders. Everyone down on pit road to get some fresh Goodyears.
And Alex Bell, that was a 2-tire stop, and will put him in the lead. I love that call.
Oh, and Bailey Turner just going to beat out the 77 as well.
So with that, we're going to re-rack and restack him. We'll be back in a couple minutes with a restart. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to SimTV and the Outsider Racing League. We've been running for 122 laps of the 135 schedule tonight, and just over 10 laps to go. Had our second caution tonight. The first was for the 33 of AJ Stravato. The second was for Reggie Ortega. Travato crashed in 4. Ortega at the exit of turn 2 after having contact with the 25, our reigning champion, Tim Downey Jr. We're gonna be just about 10 laps to go with the restart here, Finian. Alex Bell took 2 tires. I love that call, but Bailey Turner, Adam Cabot, Yusuf Ghali, all drivers that could easily win this race. And where is the 3 of Connor Horn? P12. Don't count him out in some chaotic restart here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is where, as the 77 of Cabot, I get just a little bit worried, because that 3's still got some solid pace. And if we do see a lot of chaos ensue, which I have a dirty feeling we will, if that 3 gets close to that 77, I'll be a little bit scared.
So, tonight has been an interesting night. We again got in a little bit late because of the SCCA Esports Super Tour that we just announced today we'll be carrying for the next couple of weeks. 3 races throughout the day, 3:30, 6:30, 9:30 Eastern, streaming on the SCCA national level Facebook pages and YouTube, and I was directing those and producing those earlier today. So jumped in a little bit late to the ORL series, and we just got here right as they were gridding. And since then, we've been out of breath with how fast and chaotic this has been. What is going on at the bottom?
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing too. That's...
Oh, it's 22nd place. And that must scroll in the real world, at least.
No, it shouldn't the sim at some other tracks work.
Well, not working tonight, that's for sure.
Well, considering the L is upside down.
Yeah, I wonder if that's something the track actually had wrong, and iRacing modeled it wrong, or if they modeled it wrong because iRacing did it wrong.
I mean, even if the track did it wrong, why would you?
Because it's like one of those like cool little details, like, oh look, we did the L upside down, you know?
I guess.
Some shoulders. I got to back up a little bit next time I take those shots.
look like Ryan Newman.
Oh wow.
No, I like no offense, Ryan. I'm just saying, because Ryan's a big dude,
looking like a snack there, Finian. I think that's probably the first time we've ever showed our faces on this the actual main stream.
Well, technically Wednesday.
What do we do on Wednesday? Oh, yeah. That's right. I did show my face on that. And your face was on there too. You're right. Okay, coming back to the green flag. It'll be 11 laps to go. Predictions. Pick one.
A lot of crashes.
Okay. I meant pick a driver.
Oh, well. The caution.
The pace car. Okay.
Pace car's gonna win. Jeff Bodine's gonna win.
All right. Jeff Bodine will hit pit lane in the FR500 Mustang pace car from 2006, and green flag's back in the air. And look at the run that Bell and Ghali got working together on the outside lane, and they are gone.
And abysmal start for the 24 of Bailey Turner. Look how much they pulled away.
And that is crucial because they are going to have about 3/10, maybe even half a second of space between them and the next car in line. But they're going to battle, blocked by the 15 all the way to the white line as they have.
Oh, and he bullied the 15 out of line. Here comes Yusuf Ghali up the inside. Gonna take the lead.
Oh, he's got it. What an expert move by the 54. Behind him, there's Bailey Turner with a big run. Is he going to try to pass in the grass? Nobody's going to get right in the back of the 15 as they enter turn 1.
I mean, I would have honestly right there had a perfect chance of doing so. I'm going to stick him behind Alex Bell. That's going to cost him some time here.
And Connor Horn's not too far out of this. He's back in 9th place. Oh. Big slide for the 19 car in the back straight. Here comes Cabot up the inside. Can't get by Bailey Turner, though.
The blocks going down into turn 3.
Bobble 27. Crash in turn 4. Hard lick for Zach Carr. He keeps it straight.
You remain green.
Oh,
someone clips the grass. I think it was Jeremy Miller.
It was, and oh no, there's no way. There they go. Trouble in turn 1. And up the racetrack, hard into the wall. Caution is out. That crash took about a half a lap to happen.
Yeah, it did.
Wow. Let's go back. This is going to take a minute to digest here. This has been a frantic night, that's for sure. So let's start. We're going to go from up above here. So this all really starts, I think, with the 27, because he had issues and went up the racetrack and it got loose right in front of Connor Horn, damaged the front of that car. And then he gets the wall. Look, he gets 4 tires off the ground. Then behind them, they all stack up. The 30 shoots for the bottom. He's going to catch the grass here. Come back up the racetrack and slip and slide. I think, is the 13 a Stouffer go somewhere here? 30 catches the grass again, and that's what does it. He's going to get bounced off the 35 car, and that's what sends him around for a spin.
And even Lang went sideways, too. I think he was able to save the car, but the 30 Miller hard.
Oh, Michael McDowell.
Yeah.
He hit that wall a ton. I've never seen a hit like that in my life.
Oh yeah, actually that's right back at full speed with the third on board.
He just had a head of steam and nowhere to go with it. Would have looked like a hero if he made that stick, but they just catches it a little bit at the end, and that's what does him in. Now the inside wall, the 35 of Lang, I think he caught it. Got on board with the 35. As soon as I can find where he is positioned, here he is 17th place. Here we go. Wow, what a view.
You hear him off throttle trying to avoid the 30?
They get tagged and slip, slide, and caught it, catch it. Wow, wow, what a drive.
The hand movements too are amazing.
And we're probably going to see a pretty epic shot of this as he comes back up onto the racetrack at 150 plus miles an hour. Look at the 9 and the 13 getting together. What a drift by the 13 of Ryan Lang.
35.
Oh, excuse me.
Stover had a bit of a wild ride, but the caution lights on yet again for the third time tonight.
Yusuf Ghali is your leader after a really solid pass on Alex Bell, and these guys have been going at it pretty hard, but now they can't line up like they did on the previous restart, so that puts Turner and either Ghali or Bell in line. So which one do you think which line do you think Ghali's going to choose? The 24 or the 77?
I might choose the 24. I think the 77 is a little bit faster, and also I think a little bit more aggressive than Cabot at the moment. But
then to play devil's advocate, 24 is so aggressive, maybe you don't want him behind you because he'll try to split you 3 wide.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Cabot would almost do the same at this point. I mean, he's already gotten into the 3 to try to move him out of the lead, so I think he's got to really, I guess, pick a lane and just hope for the best, really, and hope that things turn out well. But looking really at the rest of the order, I like Casey Lacatus, you know, looking, I think at one point he was probably a lap down, if not close to being a lap down. And now how about him running in 6th? In fact, I think finished 3rd at Darlington.
Lacatus?
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, he was actually did run really well at there. Either was that or was it the fuel race? Oh no, it was the fuel race on Tuesday at Pocono that we're thinking of.
Oh, is that? Oh.
Yep. Well, there's a whole lot of people in the grandstands, but not a single car in the parking lot. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, Cottage did not have a good race at Darlington.
Yeah. I was just making a mention at the empty parking lot, even though
there's
160,000 people in the grandstands. Zap.
Well, it's kind of interesting that the laps count down, not up.
You know what bothers me or when they have this at Watkins Glen, they have this scoring tower, and it counts laps completed, not the lap that you're on.
Yeah.
So every time I saw lap 89, I was like, oh, we have 1 lap, or no, we have 2 laps to go. It was always the last lap, and it was always very confusing. Because you'd see the white flag and see the 89, and be like, what? Did they shorten the race? Nope, I'm just an idiot, you know? Alright, well, we've seen pretty much everything tonight in terms of action. We've seen long green flag runs, quick cautions, big crashes. Well, next time we get a caution, it will extend this race to a green-white checker. I think the possibility of that is extraordinarily likely, given how chaotic these late race restarts have been. We still have 25 cars running. We still have 25 cars on the lead lap. All the cars that are out are the ones a lap down. So, cloud cover is rolling in here. It's a little honestly cloudy.
Race actually, for the most part, it's been in quite a bit of sunlight.
Yeah, it's actually track surface has come down about 10 degrees from the start of the event. I'd expect the track to grip up a little bit.
Start to venture off into the nighttime here, but we're getting ready for the restart here. 4 laps to go. I will honestly be surprised if we don't get a green-white, at least 1 green-white checker. But we'll see if they can do it.
No Limits Texas, you're going to dangle some revolvers in front of these drivers, and they're going to shoot. Their target might be a half a lane at the bottom of turn 1, but they're going to go for it and try to hit it. Here we go. 4 laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway for Outsider Racing League round number 6. Green flag flies again as Yusuf Ghali fires off, and he got a great jump from the outside lane. That was an interesting lane choice, but he wanted to be in front of the 77, and now Bell has to deal with the 24. Nice clean restart that time.
Yeah, for now, and here they go, a little swerving down the back straightaway. Cabot going to block Colusa in behind.
3 and the 9 got together on the back straightaway. A little bit of door rubbing there, and again, Horn trying to recover from what could have been a race win tonight had there not been trouble. There's a little bit of a stack up in turn 4. There's the 26 of Steven Turner, all the way up to 14th place, but it's getting really dicey.
Yeah, looking especially up for the lead. Bailey Turner trying to make some moves. There's a whole bunch of cars all over the place. Here comes Cabot up the inside, and look to the inside of Bell as well.
Now this is getting crazy, and Ghali is free and clear. They're going to have 2 laps left to go. They need to sort this out if they want to have a chance to go catch him. And Bell's on the outside, Cabot's on the inside.
Cabot going to door the 15 out of the way, move him up the track 3 wide on exit.
2 laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway. Trouble in the wall. Slip and slide. Crash in the background. We're going to stay green. Sproul's in trouble out of turn 4.
Going to collect it, keep it straight. 2 laps to go here.
Still a chance for a caution if we see more. Swing on the bottom of the racetrack in the background. That's Butler. Bailey Turner goes in behind Bryce Colusa, who's now holds 3rd spot. White flag dangling in front of Yusuf Ghali. Can he get there before we see a yellow? And yes, we will. White flag one more time around at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be all she wrote here unless Cabot gets a great run off of 2 and has a setup in 3.
Oh, he's gonna have a good run here.
One more chance.
He might move him as well. He moved Connor Horn earlier. Now you're gonna dangle a checkered flag in front of his face. Blocking the back straight for 3rd place. Now Cabot dives off into 3, right to the rear bumper of Ghali, but he can't do it. Car sliding in the background. It's Lacatus. Checkered flag waves. Ghali and Cabot running to the line. Ghali gets it by a 1/10 of a second. Look at that, 3 wide across the line with Bell in the middle. And there's the end of the race. We had a tie for 7th place.
Wow.
Lacatus and Banks.
See the 3 moving up through the field. And I imagine some drivers going to be a little bit displeased with each other.
Oh, here we go. Ghali out of turn 4. Ready to celebrate this event. This is not his first win this season, Finney. He's going to get to celebrate another one in his home track, nonetheless. Have a look at that. That's got to feel good. And we don't have to pay him because this is a Polar Pierce race. And that was the sponsorship terms. Is if you win the race with the paint, you pay the bill.
I like those terms.
I do too. Fantastic race. And Ghali again celebrating at his home facility. This has got, I mean, winning at a home track, you know, obviously we're from New York State, so Watkins Glen's a home track for us. There's something special about that. And I'm sure he's going to do the whole victory lap around. This is a cool shot, a cool angle as he's going to drive around. Enjoy this one. Soak it in. His first race in the league area with this racetrack all redone. He's going to turn back and head to victory lane. This is his 3rd win this season? He's gotten at least 2. That'll be it. Here's a look at your race results tonight. What a run.
Yeah, Cabot. I think Cabot had one more lap. Might have been able to give something to Ghali, but lost too much time in his battles trying to get up to the order, up through the order, up in a second. So wasn't able to get it done. But just kind of looking back down the order. Yeah, Alex Bell, I imagine, is going to be really disappointed with 18th. After where he was running, having a shot at winning the race.
20 cars within 3 seconds. I mean, that's what a green-white checkered will do. Zach Carr obviously disappointed with his result. Martin Sproul, a couple laps to go, he had trouble. Ortega, Miller, Stravato all had issues. And Chadron Beam retired at lap number 180, 170 something, but ends up 60 laps down towards the end. Of course, Caleb Weekly, Cody McCorkle did not start this event. I wanted to go back before we jump to break to talk to our race winners. I wanted to go back to the race finish because there was a tie for 7th spot, and I want to see what that looked like because I don't think I've ever seen that on a stream before. I'd like to go back and find out. All right, where is the... out of turn. What's the result here? Oh, yes, here it was. Coming to the checkers. That is a tie for 7th place. That is
TV2.
Unbelievable. TV2? Yeah. Wow. Okay, actually, they did give it to the 50 car, but they crossed the line at about 170, 180 miles an hour. So that's what 0.000 seconds looks like at that speed, Finney. And that is pretty spectacular here. Look at that for 7th place. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Connor Horn eked out a top 10 by about 21 thousandths of a second behind all this. But here's one last scroll through your results before we jump to break to go talk to your top 3. And it was a pretty phenomenal race and a cool racetrack to do it as well. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the upgrades to Texas in the real world, but I don't mind them so much in the sim.
Yeah, I don't know. I still kind of wish they got the banking in turns 1 and 2 in both real life and in the sim, but oh well, life moves on. At least the track looks beautiful, so I'm happy about that.
We'll be back in just a minute. Stay with us.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yep. Yeah, I'm good.
Welcome back live to Sim TV and the Outsider Racing League, and we're here now with Bailey Turner, who finished 4th in tonight's race. Bailey, probably not where you wanted to finish because you ran up front towards the end of that thing, and cautions didn't quite pan out in your favor. Some aggressive blocks on the restarts, but a top 5 result. You happy with that?
Yeah, definitely. Didn't like my qualifying, and then yeah, just worked my way through the field, got up there into the top 4, and it's just so hard to break away in these cars. I mean, I feel like the tire fall off. I mean, it fell off, but it really didn't make much of a difference, even if you were trying to save. So I just got 3rd, and then a caution fell the wrong way, and like you said, I worked my way up there to the top 2, and yeah, cautions didn't work out, and it looked like the 15 and the 54 working together on a restart, and that pretty much ended my chance at a win. But it was a good race. I didn't mean to get into Alex there at the end. We were 3 wide, and it gets super tight there on the front stretch, and unfortunately that happened. I felt bad for him. He had a pretty good run going, but it was a fun race, pretty aggressive up there at the front, definitely.
Talk to me about this racetrack a little bit tonight. Obviously, some big changes, and not a lot of people not a big fan of them in the real world. How was it tonight in the sim, and were you able to make passes, or how tricky was it out there?
It wasn't too bad. You can make passes. It was pretty difficult the longer you went into a run. It's just such a momentum-based racetrack. If you mess up in 3 and 4, it costs you for nearly an entire lap. You slip up just a little bit or overdrive entry, and the guys will make up 3/10 on the front stretch in the middle of the corner too. So it's difficult not to mess up, but it was a great race.
Bailey Turner, a top 5 result tonight in the number 24 car. Thanks, Bailey. We'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it.
Moving on now to the 3rd place finisher, which was Bryce Colusa in the number 20 car here, and we'll have a chance to talk to him here tonight. Hey, Bryce, 3rd place tonight, just shy of snagging a 2nd or even a victory, but a really solid run. You happy with tonight?
Absolutely. Toward the end there, I was just hoping for a top 5, so I'm really glad I got up to a podium. It was pretty tough out there. I kept getting freight trained when I got stuck on the outside, so it seems like the inside is really the preferred line.
I was asking Bailey Turner the same question. How much did this new pavement and this new configuration affect the racing, and was it more challenging to pass it than in the past year?
Yeah, I think at the Old Texas, you were able to at least have a chance on the outside, but I couldn't mount any speed here at the new configuration. So it was pretty tough out there. I was just trying to hold my line on the inside.
A really strong run of third place for Bryce Colusa. Bryce, thanks for talking to us. Congrats on a P3 tonight at Texas.
Thank you, sir. Much needed.
And now to our second place finisher is Adam Cabot in the 77. It wasn't without some drama tonight, Adam. Some contact with Connor Horn sent him towards the tail of the field, but you stayed up front all night long. We're battling with Golly to the end there, but just came up just a little bit shy. What'd you need to get that 54 out of the lead?
Really just another set of circumstances. Towards the end, the cloud cover got pretty heavy, track temp dropped, and became kind of a mix between an intermediate and a super speedway race. So at that point, with all those cautions, it was just kind of chaos on the restart. So a couple more laps, I think I would have had a shot at Yusuf, but he ran a great race. I'm happy to run top 3 all race and get a good finish like that. But yeah, the deal with Connor, I'm just, tired of lap traffic getting in my way. And, I was trying to lap him for a long time. And he just kept taking my line. So eventually I just, drove in like I normally did. And him being a lap car, I just got into him. So that, I take no responsibility. That had nothing to do with me. But other than that, it was a solid race. It was fun battling my teammates up there as well. Wish we could have, we almost all got top 5, which is, I think would have been a first for Supercharged Racing. But overall, great race for the number 77 Lawn Tech Camaro and Supercharged Racing.
Adam Cabot, second place tonight in the number 77. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, guys.
And last but certainly not least, the 54 of Yusuf Ghali, a home track victory and celebration facing the crowd. Yusuf tonight, a spectacular performance, a late race charge to the front on those late race restarts, and a swing around the bottom of the racetrack to get the lead away and steal a victory at your home facility. What is that like? What's running through your mind right now after a win at this brand new, shiny, spanking new racetrack?
Man, I've sat in those seats. I love winning at this track. It's my favorite track on the servers just because it's the one I know personally, man.
Tonight, obviously, the reconfiguration played into the racing quite a bit. The flatter turns 1 and 2, the higher bank turns 3 and 4. We saw you kind of up front all night long, fighting mostly with your Polar Pierce sponsored teammate, the 15 of Alex Bell, and also the 20 of Bryce Colusa. How challenging was it to make passes, and could you force the issue with a push and a shove if needed?
I felt like most of the passes I'd seen were made by just forcing your nose coming out of 2 and getting on the inside of someone and just hoping that they didn't block you or turn themselves. So it was a little bit hard to pass, but I don't know. I'd say this is one of the tracks where lifting and stuff is more prominent for my.
Yusuf, congratulations on your race win in that number 54, the Sim Motorsports Camry. Another victory for you this season, and the points picture is looking pretty solid as we work our way towards the chase. So congratulations, and we'll see you next round.
Thank you.
Going to pretty much conclude this here, Finney. That was, again, we're out of breath. I've been doing nothing but streaming all day long for the SCCA, and I'm ready to get off now. So we're going to sign off tonight. Again, my name is Kyle Heyer alongside Finney and Daguna. Thank you for joining us here on Sim TV. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Next week, I don't actually have that pulled up, but we're going to be heading somewhere fun next week, and it's going to be Mid-Ohio. I knew there was something good, and it is directly next week. So 7 days from now, we'll be heading to our second road course event of the season after Watkins Glen round number 3. And also, we should mention, Steve Turner just popped in the chat. Steve Turner, 11th place in his recovery after missing out a couple seasons. So welcome back to Steven and a great top 15 run for the number 26. That's going to do it for the night. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7:15 for the Indy Elite Series from Barber Motorsports Park.